What's up, guys? Welcome back to Learning Tidbits with Jeannie Malone. Today we're going to be looking at subject-verb agreement, common errors undermining our intelligence. Yes, a very, very important topic, guys. All right, first, let's quickly review subject-verb agreement basics. And please don't think, yeah, yada, yada, I know this stuff, and go ahead and turn it off. You just hang in there. I promise I'm going to review something that you use or say incorrectly. All right, first of all, let's review. We find our subject, okay? If you need to make sure your subject and verb agree, you have to be able to find your subject and find your predicate. So let's first find the subject. You find your subject by asking who or what the sentence is about. You narrow it down to one or very few words, just for our purposes today. We're not getting into simple subject versus complete subject, simple predicate versus complete predicate. We're not getting into that. We're just trying to find it for the sake of making them agree. All right, the next step after you find your subject is to find the predicate, the verb. You find this by asking, what about the subject? What is the action or the main point? What is the subject doing? So let's look at this sentence and let's find the subject in this sentence. The dog rides the skateboard. Ask who or what the sentence is about. The dog. The dog is the subject. Good job if you guys got that. All right, now let's find the verb, the predicate. The dog rides the skateboard is our sentence. Ask, what about the dog? What action occurred? The dog rides. So rides is the predicate, the verb. All right, so a simple rule, guys. Singular subjects take singular verbs and plural subjects take plural verbs. Singular is one, plural is more than one. Now, this chart is in here for a couple of reasons. Please don't overlook it or bypass or fast forward. Well, some of you can, but most of us really do need to hang in there and pay attention to this. I included this initially because I wanted it to be a great help for English learners, because this page right here will be very helpful to those learning our language as a second language. But if you think about it, a lot of us commonly misuse these simple everyday verbs when it comes to the plural, and especially plural in past tense. When we're looking at complex situations of joining two singulars or joining a singular and a plural, then we mix it up and we use the wrong verb. So we're going to go over all of that. So use singular verbs when you have two or more singular subjects joined by or nor. For example, either John or Bob brings me to practice each week. Only one person brings me to practice. One person. It's either John or Bob. They're separate, individual people, okay? Only one does the job. My mom or my dad is coming to pick me up. Only one parent picks me up each time. Separately, individuals. Neither Mandy nor Susie likes math. Each individual girl dislikes math separately. They're not one person. It's an individual. That's what you're talking about, is an individual's like or dislike of math, okay? So either and neither always, always, always require singular subjects. Excuse me, they always make singular subjects because they're dividing and making things individual, separate entities. Now, use plural verbs when you have two or more singular subjects joined by and, because and brings us together, bro, okay? And brings us together in a group as a united something, okay? In united individuals. John and Bob come every week. John and Bob are together as two people, plural. It's not separating them one or the other. It's both together and, okay? A pen and paper are needed. Pen and paper are together as two items, plural. My mom and dad pick me up. Both Mandy and Susie like math. Here are these two examples. The two people are working together as plural, okay? They're not separated. Now, so We have already looked at either and neither always require a singular subject, or they denote a singular subject. Both always denotes a plural subject, because both is bringing together two or more things as a group. Now, when I is one of the singular subjects connected by or nor in the present tense, you're going to place I as the second subject and use I am. Now pay attention to this one, guys. People misuse this all the time. It's like, well, we just really don't even know how it works, so we'll just say something and hope people figure it out. But that's not what we should do. Let's look at how we should address this, okay? Neither my chick nor I am happy when we are separated. Okay, the two subjects are chick and I. Notice that because we have two singular subjects joined by or nor, here it is nor, we place I in the second place and we use I am because it's in the present tense. Okay, am would not agree with chick. What would we put if it was just chick? Is. My chick is. Right? Neither my chick is happy. So, see why it's important? If I didn't know that, guys, I might put is as the verb there and just whack this sentence all to pieces. It would just be terrible. It would be butchery. So, I'm going to employ a little bit of social etiquette here, okay? You know your mom and dad always taught you to put others before yourself? All right, do that in your grammar. Put others before yourself, and it's really going to help keep you from tripping up in your grammar. You're going to know what to do because you're going to know what to place first, what to place last, and then, oh yeah, if I put I last, then I know to use the verb that goes with I, not the verb that goes with chick, okay? One more example. Either Mandy or I am coming to get you, okay? Two singular subjects, Mandy and I. They're joined by or, and so I put I in the second place because I'm being polite, using that etiquette my mom and dad taught me. So the other person goes first, I am last. What agrees with I? It's am. Okay, that's simple. Now, when you have a singular and a plural subject connected by either or and neither nor, you place the plural subject last and you use a plural verb. The sentence here says, neither Bob nor his parents are coming tonight. Okay, we have two subjects, one singular, Bob, one plural, his parents, and they're joined by nor. So we always put the singular one first, okay? And one way to help you remember this is, like, if you're at a party and you're introducing a friend and your friend's parents to, let's say you're introducing them to your principal. It's a party after school, okay? So you're saying to your principal, hi, Mr. Principal, meet Bob and his parents. You wouldn't say, hi, Mr. Principal, meet Bob's parents and Bob. That's just weird and altogether awkward. So you wouldn't do that. What is natural is to say, hi, meet Bob and his parents. So kind of think about that when you're trying to figure out your grammar here with which verb to use. Always place the plural last. You know, meet Bob and his parents. Same order here. Neither Bob nor his parents are coming tonight. Let's look at the next sentence. Either a soup or finger foods are his favorite meal. All right, why did we use are? Because we have two subjects. One is singular, soup. One is plural, foods, finger foods. So we use the verb that agrees with that second one, the second place, the one that's closest to the verb, okay? Finger foods. Now, even when you have a subject and a verb separated by phrases such as along with or as well as, the subject and verb still must agree. So let's look at this sentence about Michael. Michael, along with the rest of the team, is responsible for completing homework before practice. Michael is responsible for completing his homework. So the sentence is about Michael having to complete his homework. So it says Michael is responsible. Even though you have that long little interruptory phrase there, along with the rest of the team, okay? Team would be plural. Don't let that trip you up when you're like, ooh, team are responsible. No, 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 no. You're making Michael agree, okay? Michael is responsible. That's the key point of the sentence. And if you can't figure out, what it needs to agree with, what your verb needs to agree with, just think back. What is the main point of the sentence? What is it really about? It's not about the team. It's about Michael is responsible for completing his homework. Although it does not look like Michael is very interested in completing that homework. All right. Certain pronouns are always singular. Always, always, always singular. Each, everyone as 2 words. Everybody, anybody, and anyone. All these pronouns always, 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 guys, refer to individuals, to singular people. Let's look at some example. Each fruit has specific health benefits. Each has. Everyone needs to bring an umbrella. Everyone needs. Every one of the balls is flat. Every one is flat. Everybody needs to stretch every day. Everybody needs. Anyone sits. Oh, anyone sits in the visitor section when the gym is so crowded. I'm sorry, I thought I mistyped that. So anyone sits. Any one of the team members substitutes for one another. Pay attention in that one, guys, because what is the subject there? Anyone. Very good. Don't let that phrase trip you up, that prepositional phrase, of the team members. Okay? No, no, no. So don't think that you need to make your verb agree with members, which is plural. You need to make it agree with the subject. I don't know if you recall, but you can't have a subject in a prepositional phrase. And of is one of our most common prepositions. So if you have of the team members, that's a prepositional phrase, and you cannot have your subject there, so you must look elsewhere in the sentence for the subject. Anyone is your subject. Anyone substitutes for one another. All right, so something to help you remember this rule is the word endings one in everyone and anyone, and the word ending body for anybody, everybody. Okay, those indicate singular subjects because one is singular and one body is singular. So maybe that will help you guys remember to always use a singular verb when you have these words. And also each is included in that. Each, everyone is 2 words. Everybody, anyone. Okay, so make sure that you always treat these as singular subjects. Now, don't think we're getting confusing here, okay? But we are going to get a hold on our grammar. We're going to grab it by the horns, and we are going to get this correct. Words which indicate portions take the verb in which take the verb in agreement with the noun to which they refer. For example, when you see percent, fraction, part, majority, some, all, none, or remainder in a sentence, that's not the word that you're going to make your verb agree with. You're going to make the verb agree to the word in which these refer, the noun these refer to. So let's look at some examples. Do we use all is or do we use all are? Oh my. All my energy is gone. Okay, what are we talking about in this sentence? What is the sentence about? It's about my energy. Okay, energy is singular there. So we say energy is gone. All my energy is gone. And you could even say all is gone. Okay, to know, now that you've figured out energy is the actual subject. And just to reinforce in your mind that you're going to use that singular, you can just kind of repeat in your head, all is gone, because it's talking about one singular thing, energy. All right, let's look at the next one. All my efforts are spent. Okay, kind of the same concept, but it's different vocabulary. Energy and efforts, we might think of them, as very similar things, but here efforts is a plural word. So even though we're using the word all and we're talking about a similar concept, the word is different. The vocabulary is different. So all my efforts are spent. All must agree, the verb must agree with efforts, because efforts is the subject, is what we're talking about. So efforts are spent. Now, let's look at some is or some are. Some of the excitement is watching the crowd get hyped up. All right, what are we talking about? Excitement. Some refers to excitement. Notice that excitement, it's not, like I said, you can't technically have a subject in a prepositional phrase, but it does help us to look at what we're talking about. We're talking about excitement. So yes, technically some is our true subject. Okay, yeah, if you were having to like locate the subject, that's what you would denote as your subject, some, the word some. But to know what we're talking about, to know what to make that verb agree with, we look at, you know, what was the topic, not just the subject, but maybe like the main topic. Even though it's part of that prepositional phrase, so we can't call it the subject. I know English can be so confusing and so fun, right? So some of the excitement is watching the crowd get hyped up. Excitement is singular, therefore you choose the singular verb is. Now, some of my teammates. Notice we still have the word some. Yes, some is our technical subject, but the word to which it refers in that prepositional phrase that makes it off, off the charts. We can't choose it for our subject, but what it's referring to is teammates. Some of our teammates. Okay, teammates is plural, so we're going to choose a plural verb. And yes, it's going to go with that same word that is our true subject, some. So some are still playing. Some of my teammates are still playing. Now, let's practice with one more. None is or none are. None of the hard work is too much. Okay, what are we talking about here? The work, right? That hard work. So work is singular. Let's choose a singular verb. You guys are getting this now, right? So even though it's the same word none as we see in the next sentence, we're going to look at what we're actually talking about, even though it's not technically the subject because it's in a prepositional phrase. So none of the hard work. Work is what we're talking about. That's what we're going to look at to see what verb to use, singular or plural. You try the next one. Did you get it? Oh, I hope you did. None of the games are my favorite. Games is plural, so you're going to choose are because games is plural. I hope you understood that, and I hope you understand it much better now that we've gone over it. Now, let's look at these sentences. If you have sentences that begin with there or here, you look for the subject after the verb. That's right, after the verb, okay? Let's look at the first sentence. There are 3 games left in the season, okay? There are 3 games. What are we talking about? Games, okay? So games is the subject. So you want to make the verb agree with games. So you choose plural are. Let's look at the next one. There is a lot of hype about the championship. What are you talking about? Hype. Hype is singular. Get a singular verb. Is. I think you guys are probably getting the pattern now. I am so proud of you. Here are new balls. Balls is what we're talking about. It's plural. You choose that plural verb. Here is the schedule. Schedule is singular. You choose that singular verb. Here is the schedule. Now, collective nouns such as team, group, and staff may be singular or plural depending on how they are used in a sentence. Look at the first one. The team is in a huddle. Team, together as one singular unit. They are together, united as one little huddle. Okay? Sometimes you need to think of these sentences, visualize in your mind what you would see. Okay? What you would see per the description in this sentence. The next sentence, the team practiced footwork at home. Okay, this is not the same. Yes, it's talking about the team and the team members. However, it's not as one collective group, like the one collective huddle. All of these different team members are at their own homes practicing footwork. Okay, so sometimes, again, it helps to visualize in your mind what is going on per the description given in the sentence to see if it makes sense and see which verb you should use. Okay, when you're trying to form a sentence, when you want to write it or you're going to speak it, quickly pop into your head what the picture is that it would show, like what is actually going on. Is the team together as one unit in a huddle? Okay, if it is singular, you choose the singular verb is. If you're talking about the different team members individually, separately, at their own homes, not together geographically in one location, in one little huddle mass, okay, you're going to talk about them as multiples. This is plural. So that is why they practice, not practices. Okay, one last singular plural mistake. This one's a biggie, guys, so pay attention. Let's look at an incorrect sentence. Every girl must have their own shoes to race. Look at the next sentence. Each girl must have their own shoes to race. Oh my goodness, I see so many people trip up on this, and they think if they change every girl must have their own shoes to each girl, then it's correct. And I'm like, no, it's not. You know what? Again, you don't have to be the grammar guru all the time or the grammar police, but it does help to practice using it correctly, even around your family and friends or by yourself, just so that when you need to depend on it, you can. So let's look at the correct way to say or write these sentences, okay? Notice we're going to start out the same. Every girl must have, right? We still have the same words. Every girl must have. What did we change? Every girl must have her own shoes to race. Each girl must have her own shoes to race. So what is the fixer, guys? The word her. Okay? Her is it singular or plural? I know we're kind of in a different mode here because this isn't the subject, but it's a very big mistake with pronoun use with singular plural. So look at her own shoes, okay? Every girl must have her own shoes. Now that pronoun right there, her, it's a possessive pronoun. And I know, again, it's not falling under the category of the subject verb, but this was more about correcting a lot of mistakes that we typically make in our American English every day. Educated or uneducated, we all do it, so, why not fix what we can right now? But right here, the reason it is not every girl must have their own shoes or each girl must have their own shoes, it's each individual girl, okay? So each individual girl, picture that in your mind, she must have her own set of shoes, okay? Each girl has a pair of shoes. So picture in your mind a row of girls standing holding each girl is holding a pair of shoes. That is why you have to say her own, because it's not their own. She's not holding their shoes, she's holding her shoes. Okay? Each girl must have her own shoes to race. Every girl must have her own shoes to race. All right. So get out there and show your intelligence, guys. You've got it. You got it. So go correct. Practice makes correct use when critical, okay? If you never practice grammar properly, then when you really need it, when your parents are introducing you to someone new that you need to look good for, or when you are old enough to go into a job interview or a scholarship interview, you really don't want to look like a dummy. So again, no, we're not always going to have perfect grammar. I don't always have perfect grammar, and sometimes I deliberately use imperfect for emphasis of something. But we do need to know better, right? And if we never, ever, ever practice it, we're going to lose it. So practice it sometimes, please. Not for me, but for yourself. So ensure that your communication is not a joke. All right, I'm having some links to more agreement help in the description box to this video. There are links to rules and examples and practices, online quizzes for elementary to adult learners. These aren't resources that I've created, but I do find them helpful, so I will go ahead and link to them for you. And remember, guys, we're all learners. I don't care if you're 7 or 70. We're all learners improving as we go. And so I'm just here as another learner trying to help you improve your communication. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. One last request. Show me some love, guys. Hit that subscribe button and share this video. You never know who it's going to reach, who it can help. And I do appreciate your support. Until next time, happy learning.